So as Donald Trump continues his rapid decline in the polls, one of the main propagandists for him, who's trying so hard to prop him up but continues to fail, is Laura Ingraham. She hosts the show on Fox, and she tries to do this whole propaganda routine with Donald Trump that we've been calling out. So we had to go to the source. We spoke with Laura Ingraham's brother, Curtis, about their childhood and upbringing. Curtis says that their father was a Nazi sympathizer, and he explains the origins of why Laura Ingraham became the way she did, and he pursued a different path. Here was our interview with Laura Ingraham's brother, Curtis. Let's play the clip.
I think the pathology comes from familial soil, and I've used that term in the past. So my father was a Nazi sympathizer. There was a copy of Mein Kampf on the living room bookshelf. He was abusive. He was an alcoholic. So we are in a family of anger, abuse. And I think that is what has happened to my sister. People say, well, how did you turn out so different? So in my life, I found love, and my sister has not found love. And so she's gone on this path where she's being honored and rewarded for the type of things that we learned in our childhood. She's getting credit for that anger and that destruction. There's no solutions being put forward. It's all just criticism and smearing. It's very Trumpian. She and Trump have a mindset, I think, that's very similar. The history with my sister, we were very, very close at one time. We would travel together. We would visit on the holidays. It was the type of thing where I would finish her sentences on a daily call. And
when was that? How old were you then?
This was in the 90s. This was in the mid-90s. And what happened was the relationship started to fray when she took a stand against gay marriage. And so she had experienced my relationship with my partner of 12 years, who I ushered to death's door. And so when gay marriage came up, she took a stance of, no, we're just going to have to agree to disagree on this. And so I kind of pulled back a little bit from her. But then later on, I was online and I saw a blog of something that she had done while she was at Dartmouth. So she was the editor of the Dartmouth Review, which is a conservative rag paper, she and Dinesh D'Souza. And it was before technology, so there were no phones, cell phones, or computers. But she sent her reporters in undercover, and they took the names of the people that were in that Gay Alliance meeting, and they published them in the paper. And in this blog that I read, it said that one kid actually committed suicide. Now, I can't verify that, but when I saw that, I sent her an email and I said, Laura, is this true? And she wrote back, it was legal language. I do not respond to blah, blah, blah. And so in my heart, I knew she's guilty. And so that's when I really pulled away. And it was, of course, when she went full-blown Trump, in 2016, that I could not stay quiet any longer. And I'm just kind of calling out hypocrisy as I see it, her statements, her meanness, the way she's smearing people. I mean, you look, it all started with LeBron James, taking the knee and her saying to him, just shut up and dribble. I mean, I don't understand that type of person that attacks like this. And my sister, what I've learned is she is one who doesn't listen to understand. Hers is she listens to attack, and you can see it in her face. You can see it when she's talking to people on her show. There is no debate. There is no constructive debate. She has no expertise. This is what I'm saying. But people listen to her and they think, oh my God, she is the pillar of truth. She knows her facts. She does not. She is spinning. So she's a spin artist. And so these people, it's easy to buy into her spin because anger is easier than, constructive solutions. I cannot stay quiet. And there is, we have history in common, and I know things, about her. I have to reveal the hypocrisy that's going on, the immigration stance. She's got 3 immigrant children that she adopted. So how is that allowed? The vaccination, anti-messaging around vaccines. She's been vaccinated. They have. Murdoch got early access to the vaccinations. All his star assets were vaccinated. And yet they're spinning a counter tale, which I find is very destructive. And it's disinformation. And it's a spin that people are following. And those tropes that she throws out, the elites, the fake news, the biomedical state, socialism. And these people tap into those because she's so clever at spinning it.
Do you think she, kind of knows she is creating this fiction? Like, do you think she goes and it's like, oh, how could I got a good one here. We call it biomedical, and then she's like, do you think it's that, planned out?
I do. She has a conscience. And unfortunately, that conscience is getting dimmer and dimmer as she goes further in her career. But the type of behavior to continue to do what you know is wrong and inherently a lie, I think, isn't that the definition of sociopath?
Now, just to show you the breakdown that Laura Ingraham is having, here's what happened on Friday night on Fox. Here, play this clip.
Well, bigger than 08, Obama. Would Obama need 30 minutes in his SUV with his briefing book to prepare for this? She opens the book.
Here's what she also did as well after literally having a panic attack on air, having a breakdown on air. She goes, "We need to all take a chill pill." Here, play this clip.
Now, everyone on the right having conniptions over the Kamala honeymoon period needs to take a chill pill. Okay, I'm about sick of this. This is no time to collapse into a puddle of goo. What are we going to do? What are we going to do?
And here's the type of propaganda she's been doing as well. Like in another interview, she's like, "When are we going to see Melania, Donald?" Here, play this clip.
I hear a lot, this question I'm asked a lot, that Jill Biden is everywhere. She's campaigning everywhere for Joe Biden, and she did in 2020. Will we see more of your secret weapon?
Yeah.
For those of us who know your wife, Melania, will we see more of her this time around? Given her ability to speak so many languages, he was so wonderful with children and everyone. And I think a lot of people here want to see more of her.
They love her, I'll tell you.
Will we?
So, and you know her. She's a very brilliant person. She speaks many languages, the whole thing.
And she tries to act like Jared Kushner, was independently wealthy before and actually lost money in the White House, when in fact Jared Kushner was, I think, on the verge of bankruptcy with his horrible real estate deals, and then leveraged his position in the White House to make these Middle East connections to help his own business and then get billions of dollars. But here's what Ingraham had to say. Play this clip.
Media report today about Jared Kushner's made all this money since he left the White House. I'm like, he was rich before he was in the White House. Probably lost money going to the White House. But no one has been able to answer this question. It's a simple question. How did the Bidens get so rich? Congressman, Senator, how did they get so rich?
Well, because they did something that's become all too common in this town, which is they traded political favors for money. Nobody would pay Joe Biden or Hunter Biden a lot of money unless it's for political access. And the contrast, Laura, to the Trump family, which came into the White House as billionaires and they're trying to destroy them, is such a good piece of evidence that we have a good public servant in Donald Trump, and we ought to get him back there.
And here Ingraham is talking about the allegations that Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are very weird. Here, play this clip.
I had a nice 7-iron right next to the pin. Biden wouldn't do that. He couldn't hit the ball 15 yards.
I mean, what is this, just plain weird?
Listen,
American families?
The whole thing is a con job. Just plain weird. You know who's plain weird? She's plain weird. She's a weird person. Look at her past. Look at what she does. And look at what she used to say about herself, and I won't get into it, what she used to say and who she was compared to what she said starting at about 2016.
Here she is again going after Kamala Harris without a lot of effect. Play this clip.
And those same people, those very same people, are now trying to convince us that Kamala Harris is some political juggernaut. She's historic. She's young. By the way, she's going to be 60 on Election Day.
So anyway, I thought it was important to share with you her origin story so you can see where this person is kind of, where she's coming from. How did she even get to this position? How could these people like the Ingrahams and the Jesse Waters and the Hannitys exist? We'll go right to the root and we'll ask their family. And by the way, it's not Ingram, it's Ingraham. We asked Curtis if that's how you pronounce it. It's Ingraham. That's how they pronounce the last name. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million together. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.